All right, so in today's video, I'm going to be giving you the full macro rundown for Revolution Macro, how you can set this up, run it, use it, and all that good stuff. So first things first is a bit of a quick understanding of this macro. It is programmed by an AI running system, so it's going to run bit resource heavy. So I will give you a bit of a showcase, but as a note, you're really going to have to expect only a certain amount of performance out of this because, you know, I'll probably be running a higher end device than what you most likely can be running it on. Either way, let's just get right into it. So firstly, what you're going to do is head on down into the description. I'm going to have the link over to the website. And also in the website, we'll also have configurations if you are a Blue Hive similar to mine that you can go ahead and download or copy. This will allow you to just, I guess, replicate it or whatever. So we'll have this website right here. So you can do whatever, but you can go ahead and just search VSwarm Simulator, go here, and then go on to this page. This will be the Revolution macro with more information on it, but you can go ahead and visit the official site from this. Now, this is going to have obviously a bunch of information, but you're going to go ahead and click download for Windows. This is going to take you on over to the GitHub, which you can scroll on down into this. As you see, they do update this frequently, and it is not open source, but you can go ahead and download this just right here. All right, so once we do have this set up, next is going to be just getting it open. So we're going to go ahead and open it up. So I got mine. Now, as a quick note, in the settings, the first thing you need to do when you first open it up, I'm going to set mine to always on top, is you're going to need to come into your game settings. We're going to come up here, just right here, your game settings. We're going to click that. And what we're going to do is we're going to scroll on down and we're going to find one specific thing, which is going to be your move speed. So I already have mine set, but one thing you do see right now is I have an active boost. So I'm going to need to wait for this to go away. So I have a bear morph and haste. So I need both of these to go away so I can effectively gauge how fast my character speed actually really is. So we'll go ahead and let this reset. I'm assuming it'll take a few more seconds. Yeah, see, we just got way slower. So 29. So I have a stud move speed of 29. So this one right here. Jump power isn't necessary to mess around with, but you're going to go into Revolution macro, into game, and you're just going to do this right here. So key delay, camera sensitivity, this doesn't really matter, but player speed, this you need to do. Now, the next thing you can do is you can do join preferred Hive slot. Obviously, this is necessary. I would set 1. If you're using your own private server, this will make it technically faster. Detect, this will pretty much look for arrows instead of check, which will manually go and check. And then your own private server link. I would recommend putting your own private server in here. And also, as a note, if you want to join my Discord server, linked in the description, I have a few private servers actually actively open. You can go ahead and use, or you can ask for. And I know a few other people are going to be consistently grinding in these, especially if you are an AFK Blue Hive, this will be very beneficial for you. So once you have this, you can do fallback to public server. This is pretty much if you connect and say you are doing like one, right, where people might be actively joining it and say someone does load in, then the issue is going to be firstly that the server might be full. So if it's either full or you disconnect or something like that and you can't somehow reconnect, it's going to redirect you to a public server, which is, you know, completely fine. So next is the gather. So I'm just going to show you the best way to set this up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the designated area. I'm going to go over to Pine, obviously. And you need to look at it as this. So you can use shift lock and the keys on your keyboard, which are the comma and period. These will like move you like a certain degree amount. So if you do that, it'll like move you a certain amount like that. So what you'll do is you'll come about to here, roughly the middle, and we'll go ahead and click this just to make sure we are facing this way. And then we're going to go back into the macro, just right here. And in these settings, what we're going to do, so firstly, max backpack. As a Blue Hive, most of the time, we're realistically not going to run into this as an issue. I personally pretty much never max out my backpack, which is very nice. But I would recommend setting this to like 90 or 95 or something. Or you can assume however long it'll take till your balloon is filled, and you can do it that much. But I'm personally just going to leave it to like 90 or something. Now, AI gather. So this is very important. So there are a few different ones you can use. AI gather is definitely both more like resource heavy, but the default is either Pine Alt or E LOL. Either is fine, or corner X shake. I know it really depends on which one people say. I use AI gather. This one specifically, pretty much it'll see the token and walk you over to it. And then size, you can do any one of these. I would personally recommend size, or misc. Either one's fine, but align it's pretty much not necessary size. So this is going to be, as you can see right here, the length of the pattern in studs. One flower tile is equal to 4 studs, meaning, so this will go 4 rows forward to the side and all that. So essentially like a big 4x4 in length around where you're already at. So what you're going to do, especially with a lot of things, but we're going to position this so we're looking at the hive or at it, and the hives are behind us. So we're putting the arrow facing forward. Then the camera, we're looking this direction. And then this, I would recommend setting this to the one before the lowest. The reason for this is pretty much as a blue hive, you're gonna have a lot of balloons in the air. And that, I mean, it seems self-explanatory, but if it positions your camera to like this and you're looking down at a bunch of balloons, right? It's not really gonna be able to see the tokens, more as if it's looking like this. So that's one of the reasons I like it set like that. You can do either one realistically, but I prefer running with it at about maybe the second. The lowest one is pretty much too much. But next, you're gonna hit check. Right now we can grind pine tree. Now, if you're also wanting to do resources, this is just a note. This, as you can see, has a 10-minute countdown. If you want to switch spots, what you'll do is you'll add one, and then you'll add zones, whichever zone you want. So if I want to say grind seeds, right? If I'm trying to do oil crafting or whatever, and I need a bunch of sunflower seeds, I can add in sunflower seeds. Then obviously, remember, you need to obviously go back and set up these directions and all that. Like, I'm pretty sure it would be something similar to this, and then set that up. And then what'll happen is it'll go for 10 minutes on pine tree, and then it'll go into sunflower for 15 minutes, and it'll cycle this. I'm personally only going to be running pine tree. Next is the next stuff. So first, we have your boosters. So this is going to be if you want to customize stuff. So gumdrops, I can do gumdrops will activate every 5 seconds. Jelly beans, you can do this. I don't really believe jelly beans will be too important, but you can obviously do these. This magic bean, my 5th slot is a snowflake. So I'm going to click on magic bean, or never mind, it wants me to do that. So magic bean is actually the snowflake. And then you can also do other stuff. So you can incorporate other things into this. So if you're doing like micro boosting, essentially, you can do like gumdrops, you can do then coconuts, you can do jelly beans, then you could do blue extract, and we could throw in a super smoothie, and then, you know, you name it, right? You could go ahead and add it to this glitter. We could do dye, something like that. And then you could set up timers on all these so that when you're running it, it's actually going to use these on that delay cooldown. Obviously, you'll need to manually go ahead and actually add it, but this is just one of the things you can do. Next is the settings. So first thing is I would recommend going into this one right here, use fast pine return path. Turn this on. This is just going to make it faster when you are heading back to that. And then conversion, convert balloon. Obviously, you want to turn this on. Minimum blessing 40x. This is fine. Minimum minutes. So this is going to be like minimum, like minutes left. If you have this like to 5 minutes left. So if you're running a very high boost, you can do something like 10 minutes, 15 minutes if you want to make sure you do keep that. And then maximum minutes is how many minutes like is the highest it'll go before it converts. I would do something like 45 and then 5. And then maximum backpack, 95%, minimum 20%. So it will not convert if you have at least 20% in your backpack. Finish conversion after balloon refresh. There's that too. Field defaults. This you don't really need to touch. And then you have the AI gathering. So loot mode will prioritize collecting loot, especially if you're doing a loot run, which would be like I stated previously, if you're trying to do specifically grinding those items necessary for crafting. If not, you can either do eco mode if you have a lower device. If not, use full mode and then crank this to max 15 FPS, and then token priority. So this is where you kind of want to mess around with specific things. So obviously Inspire, very important to get this consistently because of the multiplier it has on collected pollen. As you can see, we just got one right there. Bear morph is also very important. Baby love, frogs, haste, token link. Seems pretty self-explanatory when you do look through the list. Now, hopefully this is on the website once again, but then you have the settings, all this stuff. And once you do want to go ahead and start this, you are either going to be kicked from the server you're in, if you are in one, or that. Next, there's quests, miscellaneous, and all this stuff. I will be posting videos on how to configure all the collect planners, tools, and other stuff. But for the most part, once you do have it set up, we're going to go ahead and just click F1 to start this. Obviously, it will probably reset your character. I can probably go ahead and move this out of the way. I'm not actually touching it, the game or anything. My little character is, but you know, it's not really doing anything. So as you can see, it's going to path us right on over to here, and then it's going to grind for us. I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic, give you a little bit of a grinding montage, if you will. right, I am back. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it. Actually, just full on. Just click stop. Boom. So now I'm gonna go ahead and check what we got. Looks like we might have a decent sized balloon. I'll have the time up on the screen. We got a 13 billion balloon. Sweet. Mind you, I was playing by myself, right? There was no boosting or anything done, meaning you can get this spread out across, you know, further lengths once all this stuff gets over here. Obviously, you can also optimize the crap out of this macro. This is nowhere near the best or most efficient, but still plausible. Also have the amount we made up on the screen in 1 hour. So definitely one of the most consistent, reliable macros available right now. So thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you out, make sure to leave a like. If you have any other questions, drop them down in the comments. But that is it for this video. If this helped you out, once again, make sure to leave a like, and I'll see you on the next one.